Welcome back to the Mike Will Experiment. We're here to talk about PS Vita remote play tips and tricks. Now, I'm a huge portable gamer. I've got a regular PSP, I've got the Nintendo Switch, I've got the Nintendo 3DS, I've got the PS Vita, and I continue to invest in mobile systems because that's really the way that I play mostly. So with that being said, getting the Vita after getting the Switch was really the next logical step. And, with Switch's library being so light this year, I thought it would be a great time to jump into Sony's hardware and see what we have. Now, these are my tips and tricks for not only purchasing one, but how to get the most out of it. Now, the first tip and trick, we'll start with acquiring them. So to get them, you want, if you don't have a PS4, I recommend going on Facebook Marketplace. I see them all the time. And you will pay between $200 and $250 usually. It depends on your area though. For the sake of this video, we'll call it $200. And then the PS Vita, you can get all day on eBay for $130 to $50. I got mine for $110 because I bargained down, and it had a little scratch on it that, really doesn't even show up during gameplay. So you can get a slightly scratched one for $110. We'll say it's between $300 and $350 for the setup. So that's kind of what you're looking at. Tip number 2 is hardwire your PS4 to your internet connection. Don't try to run it wirelessly. The PS4, we're not talking about PS Pro. I don't own a PS Pro. That's another $100 on top of what I invested that I was not willing to go. But I believe that system does run at 5 gigahertz, but the PS4 only runs at 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection. Now, this is a problem because of the fact that you're trying to stream something. So you need to have that hardwired into your modem. That's just... You can try it the other way if you have an amazing internet connection, but it will not work well. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 for remote play. Do not use a mobile device. Now, you can use the mobile device like a cell phone, but you can even pair... I did this. You can even pair a Bluetooth controller to your cell phone and get those little things that hold... It's a huge pain in the butt. Just get the Vita. The mobile platform doesn't make any sense. Really, I don't know I doubt anybody uses that for any serious gaming. You can do some serious gaming on the Vita itself, though. I would avoid the mobile app. And then number 4, when you are using your Vita in remote play, you might want to consider cycling your router and modem before starting. That way you're, operating at your most peak efficiency with your router and your modem. So I do recommend restarting both of those devices, even if you're plugged in. Just get everything restarted before you start. And that applies for streaming, but also that applies when it comes to remote play. Especially if you're going to sit down and play 3 or 4 hours remote play, definitely do yourself a favor and power cycle your router and your modem. Again, unless you have an amazing router that just doesn't ever need to be powered off. I don't know anybody that... I've never experienced one. I've shopped routers in the $100 range. I've never found one that doesn't need to be reset. So, but that's my tips on the PS Vita remote play. Really, I guess my final thing I would say, one more bonus thing, is what kind of games should you buy for use with remote play? First, you would want to do digital-only games, because switching the discs out is not possible without getting up and doing it. You're going to be playing in your house mostly with this. It doesn't really work well on the go at all. You can try using it on the go, but you're not going to be able to do much. I played like one game of Parappa barely on the go. It just doesn't really work. That would be great if it did, but it doesn't. So you want to be playing it in your home. What kinds of games? Really what I recommend... Don't play anything like Spider-Man. You can check out my review on that, the PS Remote Play review on Spider-Man. Don't play anything like that. Stick to your RPGs, your action, your turn-based games, things like that. I think even a game like Fallout might work pretty well. I don't own it on the PS4, but that's just an example Maybe one I try out at some point. But, you know, games that are slower paced that you can wait to make a decision, because there is a small teensy bit of input lag even when the connection is good. I was noticing that in some of the games, and so I really highly recommend something that, you know, gives you a second to decide. So not an adventure, not a first-person shooter. Stick with the RPG, point-and-click, adventure category. That's my tips and tricks for the PS Vita remote play. What games do you play on remote play? Comment down below. Make sure and like and subscribe our channel. Have a great day.